Hello. So today I wanted to take some time to talk about 2024 and just my entire experience with the job market and just my opinions on that as well. The reason why want to talk about it because 2024 was a really interesting year in terms of at this time, surprisingly, I got laid off last year. I was kind of jobless throughout my first couple of months. I want to talk about the job market. I want to talk about layoff. I want to talk about how I freelanced and also got fired from freelancing. And I just want to give you guys all the tips and tricks of my entire time and my experiences in 2024 and just the job market in general. And at the end of the day, I'm also going to share some tips and tricks because I think it's very important for me to share you guys and just connect with you guys because the 2024 market was really rough, and I'm pretty sure everyone that joined the market or looked into the market could experience that as well. So let's talk about the job market. So the job market actually took me a very long time to get out of it, and I jumped in quite honestly in January, and I was able to find a job around July. So that took us around 6 months of constant searching, which means every single day I told myself I was gonna at least apply to a singular job, more the merrier, but a single job. The reason why I only said a job versus applying to hundreds or a lot this time is because I was pretty picky despite being in the job market. I wanted to apply to jobs that interest me, that wanted for me to grow versus just to apply. And when you apply, your cover letter will also kind of show that in terms of it becomes quite mundane. It just copy and paste. And I know some recruiters read it, but I also know some recruiters don't read it and they just look through your resume and see if it's compatible and if they want to interview you. So just keep that in mind because in this job market, a lot of people are applying to them. So you have to be wary, like how do you stand out? And just having a copy and paste cover letter was not the key. I realized that all of my career jobs that I got, my cover letter is unique and kind of honestly, I put a little bit of fun into them. It depends on what job you do. Maybe that's very unprofessional, but what I do, you don't really need to be professional. You still have to be professional, but you can have some laughter and breathing room and breathing space. Let's talk about being laid off. Being laid off is really hard. I can't deny that as an American, after I lost my job, I felt like I lost my identity. I felt that my personality was based on a job because I can't deny also that when I came back to the state and hung out with my friends, all they could talk is about work. So because I lost my job and coming from America where that ideology is so enrooted in me, it was so hard to have a personality without a job. So I'm very grateful that I was living in Europe and living in the Netherlands where work was not the be all end all. My friends and family actually in the States, they couldn't wrap around the idea that I didn't have a job and that my every free time that I have has to be related to the job. But the job market in 2024 was really intense in terms of there's a lot of people in the market, but there's not enough jobs. Now you could blame the government, which do whatever, but that is the fact. It was really hard to get a job. And I'm no longer really entry level, so even at managerial level, it was hard, despite that being more of an option than entry level jobs. So, but I wanted to talk about the layoff experience and how it was really rejuvenating and eye-opening for me because I was able to find out my hobbies. I was able to go to the gym. I was able to run around my city. I was able to be better at cooking. I was very, and also the most important thing is I got to build my own schedule. When you have a 9 to 5, you can't deny the fact that, you offer those 8 hours specifically for the company. So everything revolves around them at 9 to 5. So when I was laid off, I kind of got to build my own schedule. It's like I want to go shopping on a Tuesday and I can't. I want to hang out with my family and talk to my family at a certain time and I can. So that experience really opened my eyes of like potentially finding a career that isn't exactly 9 to 5, or finding a career that ultimately did allow me to have that flexibility. So it gave me a little bit more hardship in terms of finding the job, because I became more like, oh, this was really nice. I don't want to give that up, but I can't deny that making money consistently is also nice. Now let's talk about freelancing, which also led me to freelancing after getting that exposure of like I get to build my own schedule and everything. So I actually got 2 freelancing jobs, and I also got fired from both of them within the same year. So that's the thing about freelancing. It's very rigid and it's very quick. Meaning you could stay for a long time, you can stay for a short time. I worked for a group of people which I'm honestly gonna tell you are terrible people. No harsh blood. I don't really care about them. They are not on my resume. They will never be on my resume. And because freelancing, you don't really have rights and you don't really have a lot of protection. So people treat you like crap in terms of they want you to be on the clock whenever they want and everything. And you kind of need to do it to them because you're paid per hour or you're paid per project. So once that's completed, also project an hour, you could get fired in any second. So both of my jobs, I kind of got laid off immediately when they wanted to lay me off. Now, I'm very grateful for both experiences because I now know that I cannot do freelancing. And if I do, I would be my own boss rather working under somebody else, because when I work under somebody else, I think it was better to do the typical 9 to 5 salary job versus freelancing, because maybe I just had a bad experience. But that's something you want to keep in mind, freelancing. And for people under the DAF visa, you have to be freelancing, or you could freelance for a bigger business, which I'm not going to talk about, but a lot of DAF people end up doing that instead of grabbing smaller projects and all that, right? So just want to keep that in mind for people who are interested in the DAF or just interested in freelancing. You could lose your job any moment, but freelancing does make a lot more money, but you do get less benefits. So yeah. And I also want to say that I use Upwork, which I know a lot of people recommend. There's a lot of potential scams at Upwork as well. Like the first job offer they gave me was a scam, so I didn't actually really started that. The second one, I found out it was just a scam itself, but they try to pretend that they're not a scam by paying you for a bit, but they collect your credits and they collect all the connects so they could sell themselves out. I don't know what they were doing, but it was shitty people, shitty business mindset, all that jazz. So yeah, so that's just my overall experience in 2024 in the job market. I want to say that it is really tough, but I do think if you want to find a job, it's kind of the best market because there's not a lot of options, but you can also see what option works for you, what options that resonate with you, and I feel like those are how you get the jobs rather than copy and paste and everything, and hopefully you'll get that and expecting to get a call back from that. I also want to say that just be aware that the job market is tough. So take the opportunity to follow your creative or entrepreneurship side, create your own business, because I think when you have your own schedule, I can't deny that I really love that experience. So for people who are unemployed and want to try that, I feel like this is the best opportunity now. Don't feel ashamed of yourself for not having a job, because that's something I really struggled with, and I can't deny that I told you earlier where I didn't feel like I have an identity because I didn't have a job. But now that I have a job back after taking a very long break, I realized I should be very grateful for that time, because I wouldn't be able to have the career I have if it wasn't for taking that time to know myself, taking that time to explore the world, travel, spend time with family and friends, spend time with yourself. And yeah, I don't know if this was helpful. I just wanted to do these sit-down conversations where I talk about a topic that has just been in my head throughout the whole year. So yeah, I just hope you guys enjoyed this video. If not, whatever. But if you did, give us a thumbs up. Alright, all that jazz. I will see you guys soon.